Hi dear Tauruses, Happy New Year and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to talk about the transits for the year 2024. We have quite an interesting year ahead of us. It should be a Jupiterian year because Jupiter will be making lots of good aspects this year, especially to outer planets. And the thing is, when Jupiter makes positive aspects to outer planets, it means we feel it on a collective level. Yeah. For the past 2 years, we have had Jupiter in Aries and Taurus, but the thing is, it did not make many interesting aspects when Jupiter was transiting through those signs. But in 2024, it will. So the first half of 2024, Jupiter is going to be in your sign until like late May, like May 26th, basically until June almost. So, dear Tauruses, you have until then, until like the middle of the year, to expand. You are still Fortune's favorite child, okay? Because Jupiter gives you luck. So, do enjoy this energy. And the thing is, in April, around April 20th, I believe. Starting from April 20th. Jupiter and Uranus are going to be conjunct in your sign, in the late degrees of your sign, and this is wonderful because these are two generational planets. Jupiter expands and Uranus gives surprises, so this might be like a surprise windfall. Who knows? But obviously, not a lot of people are going to win lottery at the same time, right? Only a handful of people do. But like in a general sense, it can be a time when you are experiencing really good financial prosperity, or like you suddenly get a work opportunity like out of nowhere, or like I don't know, some Tauruses might go viral and you become suddenly rich through internet, because that's Uranus. Okay? Uranus rules technology and internet. What else can it be? Or like you randomly meet someone who offers you a job, like I don't know, like there will be an element of surprise. It's hard to predict with Uranus, because Uranus is like expect the unexpected, but in this case we have Jupiter, which is a great benefic, so the surprise should be good. Okay, expect, like, I know Tauruses, you guys don't like surprises, though you don't like changes, but like this one should be a positive surprise. So we'll see. So I mentioned Jupiter. Most of the year, I mean not most of the year, all year we're gonna have North Node in Aries. So the eclipses are gonna happen in Aries and Libra. And for you, dear Tauruses, this means it's in your 12th house and your 6th house. So the need to find a balance between rest and work. Okay, I think I've mentioned it in previous videos, but when the eclipses happen in your sign, it feels like all the lights are shining on you. It's like all the paparazzi lights. It's like blinding. It's like exhausting, because too much changes are happening. Everyone is looking at you, like expecting you to do things. But now, finally, the eclipses left your sign, and now it's in Aries, which means it left your first house, and now it's in your 12th house. And that means 2024 is a year for you to recover, recharge your batteries from all the eclipse activities that you had in the previous year and a half. Okay, so 2024 is great for Tauruses to do some introspection, to like isolate yourself, not in a bad way, but like you're gonna be with your family, like not spending too much extra time with others, like recharging your batteries. This is what I keep thinking about. Rest and research, because 12th house is also like the Hermit tarot card. Yeah, so introspection, meditation, coming to an understanding, releasing old things. Okay, so do recharge those batteries, because when the North Node enters, Pisces, it's going to enter your friendship house. So in 2025, you will start making new friends. Okay, you will have more time for your friends. But in 2024, you're gonna be like a mammal sleeping in winter. Yeah, that's how it's going to feel. Um, so, what else? Pluto. Uh, 2024 is the year when Pluto finally changes signs and settles in Aquarius. If you remember, in 2023, we've already felt, a bit of this transit in spring of 2023. We got like a preview or a trailer of this transit, of what this transit is going to be like. And so in 2024, it's going to enter Aquarius. Pluto is going to enter Aquarius on January 20th, so like right at the beginning of the year. And it's going to stay in Aquarius until September 1st, 2024, because that's when it will slip back into Capricorn in retrograde motion. But that's not for too long, like barely 2 months. And on November 19th, 2024, Pluto will enter Aquarius for good. So it's gonna enter Aquarius until January 18th, 2044. Like, can you imagine that? That's a long time ago. 20 years. Yeah, I will be 50 by the time Pluto leaves Aquarius. That's kind of a strange thought. But like, anyway, dear Tauruses, for you, this will be your 10th house. Okay? For the past 15 years, Pluto has been transforming your personal beliefs, your worldview, because it's been in your 9th house. Your personal philosophy might have been transformed in those 15 years. But now, that transformative energy is going to enter the house of your career, your social status. Okay? So, and the key word with Pluto is empowerment. So, you might feel empowered at work. Like you might get some sort of opportunity or promotion that's going to make you a bit more powerful at work, more influential. Or maybe some of you might decide to leave corporate job and like start working on your hobby, and that's also a transformation of your career, right? So yeah, this element of transformation is going to enter. But the thing is, Tauruses, don't freak out. The thing about Pluto is that you can feel it only when it's making an exact aspect. Okay, so let's say you have, I don't know, your moon on the 5th degree of Aquarius. Then yes, when Pluto reaches that degree, the 5th degree of Aquarius, you are going to feel the transformative energy. But when it moves to the 7th degree of Aquarius, you will no longer feel it as much. Okay, so that's good. So when I say Pluto is gonna enter your house of career for 20 years, don't be like, oh my God, like, is my career gonna be in constant change, like constant transformation for 20 years? No, don't worry. Like, you will have to look at your rising sign degree. So some of you have Aquarius midheaven, right? MC. Others don't. So yeah, like some of you might have Gemini midheaven. No, not Gemini. Capricorn midheaven. Yeah, or Pisces, because those are the neighboring signs. Okay, yeah, I've derailed a little bit. And so, the thing about Pluto in Capricorn is that when it leaves Capricorn, it will be leaving an earth sign and entering an air sign. So that's Pluto. And then Jupiter. Jupiter is also going to leave Taurus, which is an earth sign, and it's going to enter Gemini, which is another air sign. So as you can see, two planets, big planets, like major players, are going to switch from earth signs to air signs, and we will feel the energy becoming lighter, because right now we have so many planets in earth signs. It's crazy. We have Jupiter, Uranus, Pluto, and occasional personal planets in earth signs. So that's a lot of earth sign energy. Like, we are like grounded in reality. It's like our face forced on like ground. Okay, like reality, too much reality, like material worries. Those things are gonna be less prominent now when Pluto and Jupiter enter air signs. We are going to feel a lot more lighter because air is weightless while soil is heavy. Yeah, it doesn't mean that we're gonna become airheads. No, but like air rules intellect, so intellectual stuff is gonna get boost. Like it's gonna be more prominent. Scientific thinking, analytical thinking, abstract thinking, objective thinking, those things, and communication. That's also gonna be much more prominent. It will be easier to find the right words to express and communicate to understand each other. Okay, and so I've mentioned Pluto in Aquarius, so your 10th house, and then like Jupiter, when Jupiter enters Gemini, it's gonna enter your money house. And dear Tauruses, let me tell you something. So because I'm an Aries, I experience these transits like one step ahead of you, so to speak. So I had Jupiter in my first house last year, and then it entered my second house. And when Jupiter entered my second house, I started making more money than I ever have. Yeah, it just coincided. It's just when Jupiter was in my first house, I graduated from university and got a job, and so when Jupiter was in my second house, I started making a lot more money than before. Yeah. So, dear Tauruses, when Jupiter enters Gemini, that means it is your turn now to earn a lot of money. Like Jupiter expands everything, and second house is a Taurus house. It's a money house. So imagine your pockets becoming bigger. Okay, so that's great. And when Jupiter enters Gemini, right away it's going to make a trine aspect to Pluto in Aquarius, and that's great because Pluto, it deepens things. Okay. And Jupiter is expansion, so like deepening of the expansion, I guess. Now, Mercury retrogrades in 2024. Mercury retrogrades are going to happen in fire signs. If you remember, in 2023, Mercury retrogrades happened in earth signs. So the thing about Mercury retrograde is that each year it happens in a certain element. Sometimes it starts in one element and ends in another, but generally it tends to retrograde in one element only. So this year we're gonna have Mercury retrograde in Aries, and then in Virgo and Leo, and at the end of the year we're gonna have Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. I'm gonna give more detailed explanations in my monthly horoscopes. Okay, I'm trying to keep this video short. And then this year we don't really have Venus retrograde. Yay! Venus is your ruling planet, so when it goes retrograde, it really affects you. And this year we don't have that, so you're doing great. But we do have Mars retrograde, but at the very end of the year, thankfully. It's gonna start retrograding on December 6th, 2024, and it's gonna last until February 23rd, 2025. Yeah, so Mars is gonna start retrograding in your 4th house, so family matters, home matters, and then retrograde into your 3rd house, communication, siblings, short distance travel, commute and stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna talk more about that later in a year. Next, we also have Chiron North Node conjunction in Aries on the 16th degree of Aries on February 19th, 2024. What does this mean, right? Well, this because Chiron is the wounded healer and North Node is very much about like destiny, karma. This is like we can look at it in a way like as an opportunity to change karma. It sounds a bit dramatic and BS-ish, but if you really think about it, we live our daily life normally, right? And we feel like we do the same thing, but when we look back, we realize that like not a lot of things are the same anymore. Like some things changed without even us realizing it. And so this can be one of those things. Like, there are patterns that we sort of inherit psychologically. We continue those, but then at some point we break some of those generational patterns, right? Yeah, so I'm assuming, like, without even realizing it, especially because it's in your 12th house, you're gonna change some pattern after this conjunction. Um, yeah, what else? Let's talk about the solar eclipses now. So in 2024, we have four eclipses. And three of them are going to be in Aries and Libra axis, and one of them is going to be in Pisces. We're going to have the first eclipse in Pisces in September. But let's talk about the other two. So on March 25th, we're going to have a lunar eclipse in Libra, on the 5th degree of Libra. So, dear Tauruses, for you, this is your 6th house. So the sun is going to be in your 12th house, the moon is going to be in the 6th house. So something about your work and rest. Work, rest. Yeah. So something at work coming to a culmination at the end of March. So 2 weeks after that lunar eclipse, we're going to have a solar eclipse on the 19th degree of Aries. So Tauruses, this is your 12th house. Again, it's a house of introspection, isolation, rest, okay? Like recharging batteries, spirituality, looking within. And so on April 8th, you will have that. It can also mean like matters of immigration. So some Tauruses, if you are thinking of moving and stuff, these eclipses are on your side. Because 12th house is like the house of permanent immigration. Yeah, where you are like far away from the people that you know, so you feel isolated, right? Yeah, it's like the kind of place where you don't know the local language, where you don't understand anything. It's like that kind of energy. It's the 12th house energy. So those Tauruses, if you are thinking of immigrating, moving permanently, this eclipse might help you. And also other Tauruses, some Tauruses, you guys have planets in Aries. So let's say maybe your Venus is in Aries, maybe your Mercury, your Moon is in Aries, or some other planet in Aries. And if you have those planets around the 19th degree of Aries, you are going to feel this eclipse. Okay, so let's say if it's your Venus, then it might indicate the arrival of new love. If it's your Moon, it might mean that you will move somewhere. Okay, so those are the energy of the eclipses. And on September 18th, we're gonna have an eclipse in Pisces. This one is gonna happen in your house of friendships. So around September 18th, and I would say September in general, friendships are gonna be in focus. Yeah, you might meet a friend who will be your friend for a long time. Okay, someone really important, a really important friendship. And so 2 weeks after that Pisces eclipse, we're gonna have a solar eclipse on the 10th degree of Libra. So as you can see, again, in your work house, in Tauruses, this year the eclipses will be affecting your work and rest houses mostly. Yeah, and now Neptune is gonna be in Pisces all year. It still has 2 more years in Pisces. It's gonna leave Pisces on January 26, 2026. Yeah, so we still have quite a bit of Neptune in Pisces. It's gonna be in the late degrees of Pisces all year. So dear Tauruses, those of you who were born in mid-May until May 20th, you are going to feel a sextile aspect from Neptune, which is a very dreamy, supportive, inspiring, creative aspect. Okay, so if you are in a creative field, use this energy, milk it. And then Uranus is in Taurus until April 27th, 2026. Yeah, so we still have quite a bit of Uranus in Taurus for you guys. But the changes in Pluto and Jupiter should be exciting. Okay, dear Tauruses, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe. I wish you guys a wonderful year in 2024 and enjoy.